Okay, this is IULM University's webinar on luxury management. Welcome, Professoressa De Carlo. Yes.
Good morning, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Lucienne, for your introduction. And thank you very much also to Valentina Morelli from Yes Milano, the agency for the attractiveness of the city of Milano, Paola Iemmallo, the HR manager of Dorchester Collection, and our students from US, Laura Biraghi and Elena Tinacci, and my colleagues Marta Friel. Thank you, everybody. I briefly introduce the next speaker, which is Valentina. Valentina Morelli will explain how Milan, why and how Milan is becoming an increasingly attractive city for students like you, who are interested in an experience of study and specialization in an international city, an international context. Later, and after Valentina, Paola Iemmallo will speak about how it is possible to create a unique experience in luxury hospitality, how Dorchester Collection work on this creation, design of luxury experiences. And now we work together with our master to design specialization courses on this topic. So I let the floor to Valentina to introduce to explain, to introduce the team of Milan.
Hello everybody, and thank you for being here. Well, first of all, before talking about why Milano is so attractive, I want to tell you who I am and which is my job. I'm Valentina Morelli and work for the municipality of Milano, and especially in the municipality, I work for Milano & Partners. What is Milano & Partners? Milano & Partners, we can go to the next slide. Milano & Partners is the agency, we can say the promotional agency of the city, and we used to say that it's the official mayors of Milano's promotional agency. It's, I don't know if there's someone that is listening to us from London, for example. In London, they have a very good example of this, which is London & Partners. What we do with our agency, let's go to the next slide. We have a mission. Which is make Milano the greatest, most welcoming city in the world. For us, it's already like this, but we have to teach, how can I say, this to all people, not only from abroad, but from Milano as well. And which are our goal? Our goal is capture a larger share of international visitors, human capital, and FDI. When I said human capital, I'm talking about students as well, not only about business or people that are coming here to work, but people that want to come to Milano also to study. So you are a perfect target for us. Let's go. Our strategy, I'm not going to talk about this also because you're going to have these slides and you can study, you can read, and you can learn more about Milano and Milano & Partners from the slide. By the way, for visitors, we want to make people understand that Milano, we can say it's a city where you can find culture, gastronomy, heritage, and most of all, visitor experiences. And then we want to attract not only visitors in tourism, but as well companies that find in tourism is their sector of, the central point of their business. Talking about human capital, I already said we want that more people from abroad, more students come to Milano to learn what is Milano and to learn also its point of excellence of the city, which are universities as well. And FDI, which I don't have to say more about FDI. Which is the brand that we use to promote the city. The brand is Yes Milano, which is, now you're gonna see a small video and you will see something that maybe you haven't seen before about the city, a different way to discover and to learn something about the city. We can see the video.
This month on CNN Go, Italy's fashion capital, Milan. We hit the runways, culinary hotspots.
It's fresh.
Milano è mobile.
The newspapers from Milan this morning.
Oh, buongiorno. I love these burned bits.
Okay, so this is, as we say, a new way to discover and experience the city. And this is the real goal that we, as ES Milano and Milan Partners, we want to achieve with this agency. So next slide, we can see nothing more than Milano, how people see Milano, for example, on Instagram. Few years ago, we were used to see Milano as a great city, as a business city. As you can see, now Milano is not anymore that kind of city, but it's changing every day and especially day by day. And in Milano, you can find everything. I was saying before, you can find heritage, culture, and food, and you can find this kind of culture also in the mind of people that are here in the city. I mean, if you come here as a visitor, as a tourist, maybe you don't know exactly what you will find in Milano. And many people are still asking themselves, does Milano, merita? How do we say merita? I'm sorry, I have an English problem.
Is it worth it?
Does it worth a visit or not? And generally, the answer was not. But now it's changing, and they're saying, we don't know. So we want to go to the next step again and say, yes, Milano need a visit from all over the world. Going to the other slides, we can see some numbers. First of all, I have to say that all these numbers that you're going to see are data from the 2018, because we use the data and we analyze the data during the year after. And nowadays, I'm not going to show you any data about 2019, also because now, as you all know, we are living a, we can say, strange moment in Italy and in Europe. That's why we would like to use number that we really know. So this number, we know this number very well. That's why we can say that in Milano, till the day we had Expo in 2015, we had a big increase of tourism coming to the city. And as you can see from the slide, Milano is the city that had the biggest increase comparing to the other cities that we use as benchmark. Then to the next slide, you can see who are our visitors. As well, we have 5 countries that are the biggest country coming to Italy. China, first of all, US, Germany, France, and UK as well. And in total, we had almost 10 million visitors every year. Even if I can give you a new number, which is the number of 2019, we had an increase of the 10% because we had at least 11 million people coming to Milano in the 2019. And what is very interesting, can you go back again to the other slide? Because I want to show what is very interesting also to study, and as well, if you will decide to work in the city of Milano, because there is one number which is very interesting, which is entertainment, which is only 1.6%. So people, when they come to Milano, they don't, at the moment, they don't spend money for entertainment. So it means that for us, that when we work in marketing, tourist marketing, and or territorial marketing and marketing communication, we need to increase that number. So this is what we're working for, to increase number, offering much more experiences to tourists and all people that are coming to the city. The other slide is what I was saying before, top international countries. As you can see, something that is very interesting for us is knowing that people comes to Milano and they stay here only, we can say, for maximum 2 days, which is not a good number. I mean, it is if you consider that Milano is a very small city, but it's not, because in 2 days we know that the tourists can't see all the things that the city can offer. So this is the other goal that we have to achieve by with our job, I mean, which is increase the length of the stay in the city. How do we do this? And then you can study all the other numbers, are very clear. So I think I don't have to explain it that much. But again, if you go to the next slide, as you can see, we have different kind of visitors. I'm not going to say anything about all these different targets, because I think that are almost the same all over the world. What we don't have is people that are coming to Milano for something, we can say, talking about nature. We don't have this kind of tourism, but we know it, and we don't want to increase it also because we don't have sea, we don't have mountain in the city. But you'll see, we have them very near to the city. By the way, this is the target of our tourists, and we simply would like to increase especially city breakers and young adults, because we think that we can offer a lot to this specific target. If you go to the other slide, it's only something that is nice to read. I mean, why people generally choose Milano. And this is not something that we said, but it's something that people are saying. And as you can see on TripAdvisor, for example, all these things are saying from people after that they've been here in the city. This is very interesting for us. So it means that we need people to know us, and maybe you will be an interesting vector. Let's go to the other one. Milano is just few words. I want to talk especially about one of these words, which is functional. Saying that Milano is functional is very interesting, because, for example, also the picture that you're seeing in this slide, Milano is the first, and at the moment it's the only city in Italy that use the contactless also for public transportation. This is very interesting, because we can use a communication with tourists, but to communicate Milano abroad, we can say that, for example, I'm just making some examples, people can come to Milano without even thinking, where do I have to buy a ticket? Because they can use all public transportation also with a credit card. And nowadays, I think that almost all people from the world that are coming, that are moving for tourism, they have a credit card. So this is what I'm saying when I say Milano is different and Milano is functional. Going to the other slide, creativity. I don't have to say that much. Milano is creativity, not only about fashion and design, but we can say also about technology, for example, or about university as well. And we are talking with one of the biggest universities that we have in Milano, which is IULM, but we have many universities. So not only creativity, if you think about product, I mean fashion and design, but also about creativity of the mind. So it's very important to know it and let people know these things, which I think is very important. And then we can talk about, I'm sorry, this is only a video to show what is fashion in Milano. Okay, I know this was an emotional video, but only because I wanted to show you what is Milano when we say Milano is fashion. Milano is fashion, and this was a particular event, a big event during the Fashion Week in September. By the way, you have to know that fashion, it's always in the city, and you can find many of these events also walking around the city. So it's something that it's very particular for the city, and we need to tell all these things to people abroad the world. Talking about arts, we are not Rome, we are not Florence, and we are not Venice, but we are Milano, and we have a lot of things that other cities don't have. For example, Fondazione Prada, which is a private museum, we can say foundation, but we are the first city with Fondazione Prada. Then they open in Venice, and then again, La Pietà del Rondanini. No, not many people know that we have one as well in Milano, and not only in Florence, for example, and many other things. So Milano, even if it's not Rome, it's full of heritage and arts everywhere. And then we have a great programming as well. The next slides. Oh no, sorry, talking about food, yes. We have a very good gastronomy. Maybe you don't know risotto alla milanese, which is the most famous plate of our dish of our gastronomy, but you know many other Italian food, pizza, pasta, or whatever. And you can find all these things in Milan as well. Don't forget, for example, that out of 65, I think, starred restaurants that we have in Italy, 20 of these restaurants are in Milano. So it's something that is very interesting to know. Then again, let's go to, okay, great programming. This is something that we as CS Milano decided to do for the administration, for the city, because we always had lots of events in the city, but we never decide to put everything together and trying to give them a program. So we've done this a couple of years ago, and now every people that are coming to Milano, talking about Milano, everybody knows that we have a great programming. And when we say program, we always talk about week and city. When we talk about week, it means that events, it's 5 to 7 days. When we talk about cities, it means that it's only a 3 days events. But as you can see, we have always something all over the years, not only fashion and not only design. And then hospitality. We have a great hospitality, of course, also because we have the Expo, because since 2015, we increased a lot our hotel rooms, and now we have more. I can say it's not right, this number, because nowadays we have more than 50,000 hotel rooms. And something else which is very interesting and we can say unique, it's that more than the 50% of these rooms are 4 stars, which is a very high level for a city. And then talking about connectivity, as maybe you know, Milano has 3 different airports. And these airports, from these airports, we have one small, we can say, city airports, which is Linate, but as well, we have 2, the biggest one, which is Malpensa, and then Bergamo, which is not in Milano, because Bergamo is another city, but it's only 50 minutes by bus from Milano. So it means that if you decide to come to Milano, you will have a great connectivity with all Europe, and as well I can say with the world. The slide was perfetta. The other one, which is not only with Europe and the world, but as well with the lakes. All people knows Lago di Como, not only for George Clooney, but also for him. And you have to know that to go to Lago di Como, you need less than 1 hour by train from Milano, as well to Lago di Garda, Lago Maggiore, and Borromeo Islands. So it means that Milano is a kind of hub. It's a city hub, and from Milano you can enter and you can leave Milano to go wherever in Europe and in the world. And we would like to present the city as a national hub for moving abroad. And then, of course, a gateway to the mountains. You all know that we're going to host the Olympic Winter Games in 2026. And this is a very big opportunity for us as a city, but also, and particularly for us as an agency of tourism agency, because it means that we will have millions of people coming to Milano. So we need to increase connectivity much more than what we already have, but as well, we need people to know that if you want to come, for example, for the Olympic game, you can stay to Milano and then you can go to see whatever you like, to the mountains, just with 1 hour by train. Maybe in 2026, it will be even less. Also to Italy, you can go by train wherever you want. You can also use the plane, but I think by train it's okay. And as you can see, for example, Venice, which is not much more far than, I don't know, Rome, but it's much more difficult to arrive there. By the way, this city, it's only less than 3 hours from Milano. And again, some of our projects. We, as an agency, marketing agency, a communication agency, we have to promote the city. So what we do, we try to participate to the biggest events all over the world. And when we promote the city, we don't promote only the municipality, for example, or the brand, yes, Milano, but we promote the city as a system. So here we have 4 different projects. One is World Roots. Maybe none of you knows what it is, but it's a very important event. We will host it in September, and in these events, all the companies of the world, the flight companies from all over the world, will come to Milano to decide how and to change, we can say, the way of flying all over the world. And this year, this big convention will be hosted in Milano in September. And then we have IGLTA, which is another big convention, a worldwide convention, which talks about tourism, and in particular, tourism LGBT. So it's a very interesting sector as well, talking about job and talking about study, because maybe you don't know that for the hotellery, the high-level hotellery, for example, the LGBT tourism is more than the 35% of their incoming. So it means it's a very important sector. And Milano will host this year, I hope in May, but maybe it will be after, but we still hope in May, this big convention. So it's something very interesting for us to say that Milano has been elected as the city to host all these big events. And then again, Leonardo, we have many things about Leonardo, so that's why last year we had the 500 years after the death of Leonardo. So we have many, many events. People like these kind of events. So we decided to take the project Leonardo as a project that we will have also in the next years. And then WECHAT. If you go to the next slides, you'll see, I don't know if there are some people listening from Asia. If you know exactly what is WECHAT, and you can also use the QR code to decide to follow our official account. Why we decide to do this? Because as you know, in China, you don't have the normal, we can say, World Wide Web, but we had different ways of using the web. And first of all, WeChat, it's a kind of a website, we can say, of the city. And we are the first city in Italy that is opening a WeChat official account, but as well, if you see the DMO all over the world, now with our official account, we are almost at the, we can say, between the 1st and the 5th position, always all over the world. So it means that in China, people that want to know something about Milano, they have a special project for them, and they can know everything about the city with a project tailor-made, we can say, for Chinese people. And then this is how is composed, we can say, the official account of WeChat, and this is what we put inside to make people understand what is Milano. If you go to the last slide, almost the last slide, it's only an example. We went last year to Shanghai to present this project, and as you can see from the picture, also what we wrote, is that we never go abroad alone as a municipality, but we always move as a system. in this moment, we were in Shanghai. When I say we, I say municipality, and yes, Milano, of course. And then we were there as well with Teatro alla Scala, Camera della Moda, Inter FC, Suning, and Tencent. So it means we can't promote the city alone. We need to promote the city as a system, because something that is different in Milano is that Milano can be a system, and not only between public sector, but also with private sector, as for example Inter or Teatro alla Scala. So it means that Milano, it's a city, but it's an open city, and we always want to promote the city as an open system. And we as well hope that many of you students will be part of this system here in Milano. So thank you and enjoy Milano.
Thank you very much, Valentina. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and I want to say welcome to Paola Iemalo. Hi, Paola, can you hear us?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. The floor is yours.
And thank you to everybody, and hello to everybody. First of all, I want to thank you, Manuela, for inviting me to this webinar and giving me the possibility to introduce to you the Chester collection and the luxury service we offer to our guests. The Chester collection is a collection of 10 hotels in the world, especially in 4 countries. We can go to the next slide. We have 3 hotels in London, the Dorchester, Cower Park, next slide please, and 45 Park Lane. And then we have, next slide, thanks, Hotel Plaza Athénée and Hotel Le Meurice in Paris. Next slide. Okay, and then we have Beverly Hills and Hotel Bel Air in Los Angeles. And finally, we have Principe di Savoia and Hotel Idem in Rome. A new hotel is coming, is joining us at the end of 2020, and is a fantastic hotel and residence in Dubai. This hotel, as you had the possibility to see from our pictures, are all in historical buildings and have a strong heritage. That are the true expansion of the city in which they are located. Just to give you an example, if we think to the Hotel Plaza Athénée in Paris, this hotel is located in Avenue Montaigne, the center of the haute couture, and the hotel, from a design point of view to the service point of view, reflect this element. In the same city, Hotel Le Meurice is located closer to the Louvre and is considered the hotel of the artists, because Salvador Dali lived there for a lot of time, and the furniture, the service, the design, once again, reflect totally this concept, how art is important for Paris. The same, exactly the same is in Milan with our Principe di Savoia. As Valentina perfectly said, Milan is a combination of tradition and modernity in this period. We have Scala, we have the castle, we have the Last Supper of Leonardo da Vinci, but we have also Gaio Lenti, we have also Porta Nuova, all fantastic new location inside the city. And the Principe di Savoia exactly is in this way. The building is extremely traditional, it's classical, but the service inside evaluate what the city is now. So the modernity of the city. And you can see this from people, from the uniform, for how the people is able to get in touch with our guests. Thanks to all this traits, we are able to offer to our guests a bespoke luxury service really connected with the history of the city. And Thanks to this, we contributed to build everywhere in the world the history of the hotel industry. But we are able to offer this to our hotels and to contribute in this way to write pages and pages of the hotel industry thanks to our strong culture that is based on our vision, that is treasured by guests, cherished by employees, celebrated worldwide. As you can see from our vision, we are totally centered on two elements: our guests from one side and our employees on the other side. And thanks to this, we are able to, thanks to this, we are able to be celebrated worldwide. For our employees, we offer an environment where our values are not only postered on the walls, but are something that we live every day in our operation. Simple values, sorry, we put the Italian version of the slide, I apologize, are passion, personality, respect, working together, and creativity. What does it mean for passion? Passion for us is to be able to show that we love what we do. And thanks to this, we are determined to offer to our guests our best every day. Personality and respect are two values that are so contemporary to nowadays. Valentina talked about the LGTB events in May and the big topic of the diversity, and these two elements offer to us to bring diversity live in our hotel. Personality means that we want absolutely recognize the uniqueness and the extraordinary person behind each of our employees, and we encourage to our people to shine in everything they do. For respect, we consider that we respect and celebrate our differences, and we respect and celebrate our differences because we are totally confident that this contributes to create brilliance to our brand. Working together is simple, is something that nowadays is absolutely important. So only if we work together, we support each other, we become unstoppable, and we will be able to offer to our guests an extraordinary service and experience. And last but not least, creativity. We are in the city where design, fashion, creativity is important. So it's important also for us inside our hotels and inside Principe di Savoia. So we don't ask to our people to reinvent the wheel every single day, but we ask to them to be curious and to do something different in what they do every single day in order to encounter better and to increase the relationship with our guests. So values are fundamental and are fundamental in a relationship both with our employees and our guests. And through the inspired leadership of our leader, we are able to bring these values into life. And these values are so important that nowadays in our hotels and in Milan, recruitment, for example, is more based on our values in verifying if our people has the same values of our culture than in technical skills. And also all the development programs that we have for our people are values centered. So this is absolutely essential. This perfect alignment between the values of our people, the values of our hotel, are so natural that every time our guests enter in our hotel can breathe this perfect connubio. We decided not to stop here, and in 2019 we decided to review our brand essence, our brand strategy. So we define 3 brand elements that you can see in the slide, and that are a certain way of life, meaningful relationship, and be legendary. So talking with our employees, talking with our guests, we consider that if we want effectively to offer to our guests a creative luxury experience in our hotel, it's not only important that we offer a great product, but it's really important that we offer to them a status, that we offer to them emotion, that we offer to them relationship. And so these 3 brand elements have to come to life every time we get in touch with our guests. They represent our DNA. They are the fundamental of our guest-centric culture. But what does it mean, a certain way of life? Exactly what we said at the beginning. When you enter as a guest, when you enter as employees in our hotel, you have to reflect the environment in which the hotel is located. So in Milan, we have revisited our suite, for example, and we have created a suite dedicated to La Scala, because La Scala is an important element in Milan. Pavarotti, because Pavarotti was one of our guests. We have created a suite where the design and when fashion is the main concept. And you enter there and you see this element immediately. And also when people get in touch with you, can talk to you what does element means for Milan, what does element mean for the Principe di Savoia. Meaningful relationship means talk with the guest, get in touch with the guest, not only to talk about something in general, but exactly to talk with the guest related to the topics that the guest has in her heart, because it's really, really important to transfer emotion. Only if we will be able to move in this way, we will be able to be legendary. We will be able to offer to our guests a legendary emotion, a legendary experience. In order to reach this, we have identified 9 emotional needs that you can find in this slide: status, connection, harmony, respect, delight, sophistication, empathy, control, and impact. Status, as we said, means that if I enter in the Principe di Savoia, I immediately immerse in this environment, and my status and the status of the hotel merge all together. We talk about respect. Harmony means a stress-less experience. I have not to ask, but people who are there for me as a guest are able to offer me exactly what I want, because they have empathy, because they give me the possibility to delight, to have an impact on my stay inside the hotel. So you can perfectly understand that put all these things together means that we need in our hotel people that has from one side the right attitude, and this is extremely important. We said at the beginning the same values of our hotel, but it's also important to have the right structure behind this. What does it mean for the right structure? We adopted a transformation approach in our hotel, and we reviewed all our structure. We in the past we had the front desk with the receptionist, we had the concierge with the concierge. Now we mix all the position and we create front and back of the out position. We create a new role charter where the position of reception doesn't exist anymore, but we have only curators that get in touch with our guests in a unique way for all the stay of the guests in our hotel, and know the guests for everything they want to have in our hotel. We have researcher who analyze the profile of the guest, understand the guest, and try to know the guest before the guests enter in our hotel, in order to permit to offer to operational people all the information they need to show empathy, to show to create connection, to offer harmony, and to offer delight. This was a real transformation that we embraced it, and we are still embracing, in order to offer to our guests a luxury experience and a creative experience. All of this has been based on a new IT tool, Nexus, that support us from the operational side and also from a relationship side, because in this new IT tool, we have all the history on our guests, and we can add information on our guests in order to permit to us to offer a sophisticated and personalized experience. In brief, this is what is our concept of creative luxury experience. With IULM, we work together since year to develop further this concept and present this concept in their master and their courses, and we will work also with them in the future for the summer school in the luxury market and client experience school that we will be live in June and in July, and this topic will be further analyzed in details. This is all, so thank you for your attention, and we will listen later.
Thank you very much, Paola Iemalo, the Chapter Collection. Thank you for all of your questions. I promise we will answer everything when we're done with the presentation. I would like to leave the floor to Professoressa De Carlo and to Professoressa Friel. They work for IULM University. I will share the presentation, and you have the floor, Manuela.
Thank you very much. If you go to the next slide, we have our agenda. Okay, perfect, thank you. So first of all, let me say a few words to explain why IULM is an ideal place to specialize in tourism studies, and what the advantages are of the Master in Hospitality and Tourism Management for students like you that are interested in an international experience and a qualification in tourism. If you go to the next slide, we can see, the next one, that IULM is a young university founded in 1968 with a strong specialization in 3 areas: translation and interpreting, communication and new media, and arts and tourism. The university has a beautiful campus 15 minutes by subway from the city center that is strongly connected to the city. We have around 5,000 students, 300 teachers, and more international students are attracted by our courses, in particular the Bachelor in Communication, which is entirely taught in English, and the 2-degree courses, the master courses in English, Communication and Hospitality and Tourism. If you go to the next slide, we can see that there are 2 key features that make IULM an ideal environment for tourism studies. First of all, the multidisciplinary focus on languages, communication, and art that we have seen before, all strongly linked to tourism and with a lot of synergies. And the second is the strongly relationship that IULM has with professionals and managers of leading companies of the tourism industry. And over the past 20 years, IULM has always worked in partnership with companies in the sector to meet the needs for new skills and professional profiles in this rapidly changing industry. And this collaboration has made possible for the university to innovate and in some way play a pioneering role in tourism education. As you can see in this slide, 20 years ago, ULM launched the first 3-year bachelor in tourism in Italy. And in 2004, ULM launched the first master program in tourism management in English in Italy. Since then, we have developed new courses, many learning projects with some of the most important schools of tourism in Europe and North America, and with managers and academy of leading companies. Dorchester is one of our key partners, but also the Academy of Accor and Marriott. 2 years ago, we started the Master in Hospitality and Tourism Management, the 2-year Master in Hospitality and Tourism Management, a dual degree with Rosen College in United States and Université de Grenoble in France. If you go to the next slide, this is, I think, an important point, an important criteria for you to choose your next, your master program, your specialization. Today we have a big gap, as you can see in the slide. Those are the result of our research, of the research that we have presented in November 2019 regarding the skill needs of hospitality sector company in Italy. We asked about 200 companies in the hospitality sector if the skills available on the market are in line with their needs. Only 6% responded that they find the profiles and skills they need in the job market. 18% do not find them and do not find them at all. And 66% have difficulty. These results are confirmed by other studies at the international market. And in the chart on the right, you see the option of bachelor, the opinion of the bachelor students and the master students, the 2-year master students in Italy, about the quality and the usefulness of the studies they have done in Italy for their job. Only 29% of the bachelor's and 40% of master's degree consider that their studies are useful for the work they do. These results show a considerable gap between the content of university courses and the needs of businesses. And this gap is partly due to the speed of change in the tourism sector. Thinks of the growing importance of skills related to digital marketing, for example, or the analysis of big data and artificial intelligence method. So I think this is an important criteria for you to choose your future degree. It's important to verify the university capability to innovate and to maintain close ties with company. So how does ULM and the Master in Hospitality and Tourism Management achieve that? If you go to the next slide, first of all, we collaborate with the major companies in the sector to design programs in line with their expectation. And we support them in training the most sought after professional profiles. The specialization course in luxury management that Paola has talked about is one example of this. And secondly, since 2019, we have monitored the needs for competencies and roles in Italy, in the hospitality market in Italy, with a permanent observatory. So if you go to the next slide, here you have some of the companies that collaborate with us more actively. And they are not just from the hospitality sector, but also from tour operating and travel agency, online distribution, meeting incentive, event management, but also transport and cruise, and also more and more from sectors such as food, fashion, design, that leverage on tourism to strengthen their international image or their brands by creating experiences, memorable experiences. And one good example is Armani, who has invested in luxury, a lot in luxury hospitality. So in the last 20 years, more than 500 companies have been actively involved in our learning projects and job placements, and more than 50 business plan and field projects have been financed and implemented by our partner companies. So if you go ahead with the slides, I would like to present more in detail the experience that you can live in our Hospitality and Tourism Master Program. Here you have the class profile of this year. I've seen some questions about that in the chat. We have an international class. This year are 46 students. The majority are Italian, but we have students from Poland, Belgium, Hungary, Ukraine, Iran, US, India, so a very international class. The backgrounds, differences in backgrounds, in personalities, in cultures, in scholastic backgrounds are big. This can be really a big plus for the learning experience. If you go to the next slide, what are the objectives of this master program? The master was designed with the four main objectives. First of all, to transfer knowledge and skills that are in line with hospitality and tourism company expectations. The course focuses on the most relevant areas of specialization in the sector. Secondly, the second objective is to develop, I would say, a valuable professional persona. The course teaches students advanced management models and tools, but above all, a critical judgment, an open attitude to innovation, through a very interactive learning approach and with a strong involvement of managers and professionals in class. The third objective is to provide a wide overview of the tourism system and of the development trends of this sector, but also a deep understanding of the interconnection between the tourism industry and related sectors as food, fashion and design, luxury, arts, cultural heritage. Tourism is an industry, but also a strong driver of sustainability development for countries, regions, cities, and a lever of attractiveness for companies in this sector. And the last objective, very important, is to make it possible for each student to identify the area of specialization most in line with their interests and attitudes, and to personalize the study plan according to these interests. How students can do that? The master offers 3 paths of specialization in 2 languages. And in addition, students can customize the learning plan through optional courses, through the internship, and through the thesis research, which is compulsory. So if you go to the next slide, we can see the structure of the course. The program is developed over 2 years. In the first year, held entirely in English, you are in Milan, in IULM University. Here you acquire a common knowledge base in order to prepare the specialization in the second year. And also you clarify the choice for the specialization path in the second year. Then in the second year you have 3 options, 3 possible paths. First, the first specialization is in sorry, in hospitality and tourism management in Florida. In this case, you gain a dual degree, a master degree in American master degree and a laurea magistrale, Italian laurea magistrale. A second year in Grenoble. Here the focus is on innovation et territoire, in innovation of cities and territories, so completely different specialization. And then the third one is in ULM in English, and here the focus is innovation, creativity, and tourism. So my suggestion is now to go to the video of Professor Fayal, the director of the master program in United States, to explain the characteristic of this American specialization, and then we can have more details by our students, the testimonial of our students in Orlando.
Good morning, my name is Dr. Alan Farn and I'm the Associate Dean at the Rosen College of Hospitality Management, and this morning I want to introduce why you should consider studying here as part of your dual degree programme. So first of all, why the UCF Rosen College of Hospitality Management? The first reason is we are a very, very, very highly ranked school globally. We're actually in the top 5 according to the Shanghai rankings, which is the most credible ranking for research productivity and engagement with huge grants around the world. So very, very proud of this, and it puts us in a very, very strong position. For yourselves, you're probably thinking a little bit more practical, and what about working? So in addition to your studies, you have huge benefits. 75 million people come and visit Orlando every year, and we've got a vast array of different types of employers, from the cruise lines to the hotels to the theme parks. A huge, huge choice and very, very engaged employers. In addition to that, we have a full-time team of 3 who support you in terms of how you dress, how you speak, how you interview. So very, very supportive ecosystem to ensure that you get the best job possible here in the United States. What will you be studying? In the fall term, you look at data analysis and 2 electives. We have a range of 22 electives, everything from social media to resort development to data analytics, anything and everything that you can consider important to the industry for the future, we have it. In the spring term, you do 2 courses, strategic issues in hospitality and tourism, feasibility studies, which is always popular with our Italian students, and then 1 elective from that list of 22. So you'll be kept very busy and well prepared for your future. So what about Orlando? You're going to be living in Orlando for a year. Orlando is a surprise package. It's a really engaging city, very, very, very many opportunities in sport, huge amount of culture. It's very different to Milan, but it has very, very strong cultural neighborhoods, a strong sense of identity, huge shopping opportunities, entertainment and the arts. This is the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts in downtown Orlando. All the top shows, all the Broadway hits come here on a regular basis. Very, very, very impressive. If you like sport, we have a major indoor arena for the professional basketball. We have a soccer team, and we have many, many, many young people. Orlando is actually one of the youngest cities in the United States. It's growing very, very fast, but you will be surrounded by a very young, vibrant, and dynamic community, which I think is important for you. Fantastic beaches, year on year voted as the best beaches in the United States in Florida, very, very close to our campus. And probably most fun for you is the fact that we have live gators. So literally 30 minutes from where I'm standing now in downtown Orlando, you will have gators marching around in the wild. So a really unique experience for you. And obviously we have lots and lots of attractions. Overall, why come here? If you're looking for the full US campus experience and everything that the United States has to offer, you won't find a better home than the Rosen College of Hospitality Management. So we look forward to seeing you either in fall 20 or fall 2021. Thank you.
Okay, we will hear from Elena and Laura. They are connecting from the USA. Welcome, girls. Let us know everything about your experience, please.
Yes, so I'll start. My name is Laura, and I'd like to share with you why I chose ULM University and also the Master's in Hospitality Management. So personally, I have a background, I have a bachelor's degree in foreign languages, so I really was looking for a course, a master course that gave me a holistic view on the industry. So obviously all the say theoretical knowledge, but more importantly, some practical applications of the critical issues in the tourism industry. So for me, ULM University and the master course that I chose was fundamental. And I had this hands-on experience thanks to workshops and also job labs. For example, I really enjoyed a job lab held by Monica Marzari, which is a manager of learning and development of a core group. But we also, for example, had a company visit at Principe di Savoia, so a part of the Dorchester collection, which we really enjoyed. And I also chose this path because of the dual degree, obviously. And it gave me the opportunity to stay in America, in Orlando, which is a very touristic destination. So for students studying tourism, I think it's the best opportunity. And also, I would like to add that not only I'm staying here for a year with Elena, but after I'd like to extend my stay thanks to the OPT. So we recently applied, and it's actually a work permit for a year. And so I will not be a student, but I will be a full-time worker. So I think this is a very unique opportunity for us. And I'll leave the floor to my colleague.
So hello everyone, my name is Elena, and I would like to talk about our campus experience. So we are living and studying at Rosen College of Hospitality Management, which is located outside the UCF main campus. And we are in the heart of the tourist area of Orlando, where the large majority of hotels and theme parks are located. I would say it's a safe and quiet area, so it's the ideal environment for studying. And then there is, it's an environment that meets really the needs of the American master students. And then there is the UCF main campus, which offers a lot of leisure activities, and you can really experience the real American college life. So for me, a plus of Rosen College is the wide variety of student organizations, which are fundamental for our professional and personal growth. So for example, Laura, Francesco and I this semester joined MPI, so Meeting Professionals International, which organizes a lot of networking events, and you can come in contact with a lot of professionals from the event, tourism and hospitality industry. Then another interesting initiative is also the UCF Wine Club. So if you have like a passion for wine, it's a good opportunity to know more about this industry and also to socialize with American students. And then Rosen College also offers a lot of volunteer opportunities, meaning unpaid short-term work experiences, which I think are very useful to better understand what you wanted to do in the future. So for example, last week, Laura and I participated to the ENA marketing conference. So we handled the registration process, and then we had the chance to attend the conference sessions for free. So it was very, very interesting. And so at Rosen College, you can also benefit from a lot of networking events, company presentations, and leadership and professional development programs and workshops. And also the career fair, which is one per semester, is also a strength for me. And then Rosen College offers you the opportunity to work on campus for up to 20 hours per week. And for example, I'm a graduate research assistant, so I assist a faculty member in various research projects in terms of brand relationship management. And so this is a good opportunity also from a financial point of view. So regarding the class structure, there are 3 types of courses. So online, mixed mode, and in presence. On average per week, we attend 6 hours of in-presence classes. So it's not a lot compared to Italy, but we have a lot of individual work to do at home. So I think it's crucial, especially at the beginning, to develop high time management skills. And then there is also, I would say that here at Rosen College, there is a special focus on research. So for example, to complete all the assignments, we usually undergo a research process, which I think helps students develop high critical thinking skills and also analytical skills.
Exactly. I would just like to add a couple more things. So I think a plus is also being able to choose elective courses because it gives students the opportunity to amplify their knowledge on certain topics they think are very important to them. For example, we took a course in social media, which I think it's a very contemporary issue.
Yeah.
And then also the fact that classes are small, so students are able to have good relationships, like with each other, but also with professors. Indeed, they're all very supportive and they help students out both in a class setting, but also during their office hours. And talking a bit more about the assessment, we have weekly assignments, but also papers, and we also have to follow specific guidelines. And all these assignments, obviously, we have deadlines from when we have to submit them. So again, like my colleague said, time management is very important. And we would also like to talk about the competition that we entered last semester. And it was very engaging for us and tough in a way, but we're proud of our success in the end. So we joined the STR market competition. So we had to do a hotel market study of Tampa Bay area, which is a city in Florida. And then in a team environment, we went to New York basically, and we talked about our findings to professional judges, and we were awarded as finalists. So
really proud.
And it was a very good experience, which the college offers apart from the courses and the lectures, all that stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, girls. Thank you for taking the time. What is it, the morning there?
Actually, it's 2 p.m.
Oh, okay, the afternoon. So thank you for taking the time to join us for this webinar. I would like to continue the presentation with Marta Friel. She's an assistant professor of economics and business management at IULM. Marta, just let me know where I should go to for the slides. I think it's a little bit ahead.
I think that we can return after the presentation of Rosen College, just to say 2 words on the other 2 paths. So to slide 17. 17, perfect. Okay. Yes. On my way there. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. Okay, we're here. Okay, next one, please. Yes, thank you. So the first path is the American one, but we have 2 more, so you can decide to spend your second year also in France, in University of Grenoble. Here the specialization is innovation et territoire. This second year is in French, and the approach is different because here the opportunity is not only to deepen the knowledge of a second language, but also is very interesting because this focus is more on destination management, sustainable tourism, and destination and territorial management. Also, this second year is very interesting because Université Grenoble-Alpes is one of the most important universities in France. as we can see in the next slide, some numbers, but you will have the slides, so we can just speed up to the third path, which is to decide and spend your second year in Milan. So to take both years at IULM University, which implies to take this specialization in innovation, creativity, and tourism, because our second year in IULM is very much focused on made in Italy, creative industry, luxury brand management, and cultural tourism, very much in connection also with all the opportunities that Milan as a city offers, and which were illustrated by Valentina Morelli just before. To choose this path to stay in Milan 2 years doesn't imply to not take also an opportunity abroad, because if we go to the following slides, we can see here, yes, a second year dedicated to understand creative tourism and to deepen these topics, but also there is the opportunity, in next slide you can see it, to take also a semester abroad in the usually in the second semester of the second year in one of the IULM partner university. This is just a map of our actual partners, but every year we have new partnerships, and our network is becoming more broader every year with new partnerships. So the possibility to have a semester abroad, and in next slide we can see that this can be done in different ways. So there is the double degree opportunity with the US and France, but also to have an exchange, to take an Erasmus program, a study abroad program, or also to do the final thesis abroad. This is also an opportunity, or to take an internship abroad. So also staying in IULM doesn't imply to not to have an international experience in other countries. I don't know if we can go, if we have time, just to see a little bit more about the learning mix, and if it's okay with Manuela, I go on, or you want to? Okay, I go on. Our learning mix is very much built according to this idea of having a very strict relationship with professionals, with the companies and the territory. So we have 10% of distance learning, we have 20% of traditional classes, but then we have many hours, 70% of case studies, exercises, project works with company experts, professionals, etc. And you can see this mix also looking at the faculty of our master course in the next slide, because you can see that we have also in the faculty, first of all, our faculty is very much international. So we have, even if you stay in Milan, you always have professors from our partner universities and from the double degree universities. So we have Professor Murphy from Central Florida, or Professor Shapoval, and many other professors from other leading university in tourist studies. And we have in our faculty also many professionals working in the tourism industry in the different sectors. This is the faculty and courses of the first year. If we go to the next slide, we can see also the faculty and the courses in the second year, and here the second year in IULM. So you can see here also our curriculum, where you have creativity and design, cross-cultural communication, new business businesses and startups in tourism, e-tourism technology, and also many optional courses which are done in strict partnership with company and professionals. And here you can see some, but then you can see it in detail in the slides and also on our website. If we go to next slide, you can have an idea of the curriculum, both of the first and second year in IULM, and also the second year in UCF and in University of Grenoble. At this point, I leave again the floor to Professor De Carlo, because we have also a number of, apart from the classes and courses, we have many projects with companies and workshops.
Thank you very much, Marta. Professor De Carlo, should we go through the workshops? I think it's better that we start with the questions.
Yes, we have many questions.
Exactly. So let me
just a few words on probably on the. I think that students can find a lot of details on our website. Just a few words on the internship, which is an important part of our curriculum. Here you have some examples of the internship of students of that are now attending the second year or have of the last year probably. So as you can see, internship are in different sectors, not just hospitality, but also tour operating, but also events. For example, Giulio Del Giudice will go in Dubai to help the organization of Expo 2020, or Claudio Di Benedetto is in Alpitour, so a tour operator here in Milano, or other students are in international hotel companies in Italy and abroad. The internship is an important part of the experience of our students, and there are a lot of effort to identify good position and good learning project with companies, with partner companies. In terms of the, if you go ahead, okay. But here you have an idea of the professional profiles of our graduate students. And then if you go on, some practical information. There are a lot of questions about that I've seen in the chat. So the admission requirements are a bachelor in any discipline. We have an admission test where we verify the knowledge of English and the personal motivation. Then for the second year, it depends on your choice. In UCF, you need also a minimum GPA of 3 on a base of 4, and an English proficiency with a certification, a TOEFL or IELTS, minimum 6.5. There is also a requirement related to the GPA of your courses, of your exams in the first year in Milano, in Europe. For Université de Grenoble, it's important to have a good level of French because a lot of courses are held in French. So we ask for a TCF, Test de Connaissance de la Langue Française, level minimum 3, okay? If you go in the next slide, but here you have some details about the admission test, but I think that we can go ahead. And here you have an idea of the tuition fees for IULM. Here we have a fee that varies, but it depends on the income based, on the income of the students. In United States, you have a fee of $18,000, but students all the students that participate in this path of specialization receive a stipend that can help them to cover part of the living experience in USA. And Université de Grenoble has a fee of 3,520 euro. Is a public university. So we have the possibility to we have some scholarship, and a part of the scholarship for students that go in United States, we have some scholarship that are you can find details in our website, because they are different according to your nationality or income, or so I suggest to go directly to our website to have more details, or write an email to our admission office. Okay, here you have the dates of the next admission test in ULM for Italian students or students that live in Italy that can directly participate in our admission test in ULM. But we have also the possibility for foreign students to apply through our website. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it, Professor De Carlo. Here you have all contacts for ULM University. Don't worry about writing everything down. We will send you this presentation in the following days. So you have Professor De Carlo's email, Secretaria, phone numbers, and the address also. I will stop sharing the presentation so that we can answer your last questions. Just a second, please. Okay. Professor De Carlo, we have a question about how many students are there on average each year?
No more than 50. This year we have 46 students. I think it's an ideal number to work well and in a very interactive way in a master class. So 50 is the average, 40, 50 is the average number.
Okay. Do you work on real business cases during the masters? Can you tell us about a previous one that you remember?
Now we work, as you have seen in our slides, 70% of our sessions are very practical, active, with a lot of simulation, case study discussion, training on the job. For example, the full day we have in every year in Principe di Savoia in Milano is a full day where students work together with the management team of Principe di Savoia on topics that are very important: service personalization, customer centricity, innovation in hospitality. And they work together with the managers in a very in an ideal situation, because it's a small classes with all the management team, and we can discuss and go in depth on these kind of topics. But we have also a lot of sessions with professionals in class, of manager or senior managers of our partner companies that held lectures or testimonial on specific case studies that are linked to our courses. So I would say that the approach is very practical, very active.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I will, if Elena and Laura are still there, I would like to ask what other nationalities besides Italian, of course, do you study and work with?
We studied with a lot of, we studied with American students and mostly.
Yes, and back in Italy, one of our classmates came from the Netherlands.
Yes.
Okay.
Nina?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and also we had Buzala from Azerbaijan.
From Azerbaijan.
Yes, and so in here, there are more American students. And then we also socialize with international students, but they're more from the bachelor. So we don't study with them, but we hang out with them.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. We have already talked about the companies. Okay, so I will dismiss this question. Professor De Carlo or Professor Friel, can you tell us if you know the average salary for graduates of this master's degree? Okay.
No, no, I cannot answer this question. We have just started the placement of our students because this is the beginning of the third edition. So students of the first edition are the graduation of students of the first edition is we started 3 months ago, and we have the next graduation in March, at the end of March. So it's difficult to answer this question. Yeah.
Okay. Professor Fial, would you like to say something about the placement? Because it seems, from what I can see of the questions, that it's something that really worries the students. So.
Yes, we have an office which is in charge for the specific task, very well organized office. So there is a lot of support, not only to find the internship and then for the placement service, but also with a number of services such as, for example, curriculum check, soft skill development. So our placement office is very much involved in our everyday work, also in class and in connection with the companies.
Okay, and talking about companies, I would like to ask Paola Iemalo and Valentina Morelli, if you take a look at CVs for your companies, what are you looking for when checking the students' curriculum? What tips can we give the students on how to introduce themselves when searching for a job? Should we start with Paola? Yes.
Yes, as we said, we look carefully all the experiences they have, not only working experiences, but also how proactive they are in their life in supporting other people, cooperative with someone, and so on, and some trait of their personality in order to see if the values they have exactly match with the values of our companies.
Okay. Valentina?
I can say it's almost the same for us. I mean, of course, we look at degrees and languages, but of course, first of all, we look at the grade, we can say, of open mind that students have, because nowadays and these moments teach us a lot. Everything moves globally. So this is what we are looking for. Someone that can give us something and not only that is working for us.
Okay, thank you to all of our speakers, Professor De Carlo, Professor Fiel, Dottoressa Iemalo, Dottoressa Morelli, also the girls, Elena and Laura. It's been a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you for taking the time. I believe this was a great session, so I would like our participants to let us know what they thought about it. And if you have any questions, you will receive an email in the following days to be able to contact IULM directly. So have a good afternoon wherever you are, or good evening for us, and see you next time. Thank you in behalf of IULM University and Doxity. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.